Hello everybody and welcome to another video today. Today I will be going over my submissions for airBaltic's 50th aircraft livery. I made 2 submissions to it. I guess we'll get started with this first one right here, which is actually the second one that I made. I prefer the other one, so we'll go over this one first. This one is an homage to airBaltic's old liveries. So obviously, we'll begin with the port side on the bottom of the screen. We have the older Baltic logo on the fuselage there, and then we have, the rest of the aircraft is still, pretty much the same as the modern one. As I didn't want it to all be the old livery, because the old livery is kind of boring, other than the logo and the tail. So I wanted to include both of the older liveries that are no longer flying for airBaltic, just because it felt more appropriate. But the other old livery is pretty similar to the one that they currently have, so that's why the tail is pretty much the same. And you were not allowed to color on the winglets or the engines, so that means my creativity was limited in that aspect. But that's pretty much it for that side. And then on both of the sides we see silhouettes of airBaltic's fleet throughout the years. So leading the pack is the Airbus A220, as that is what they currently fly exclusively. And then the rest are retro aircraft, the Q400, 757, 737, they flew the 300 and 500, Fokker 50, Saab 340, and Avro RJ70. And then I guess we'll go over the starboard side as well, which has the airbaltic.com titles, which were like the 2013, early 2000s, or later 2000s, 2010s livery, the airbaltic.com. And then it also has the old livery tail with like the growing in size diamond things. I'm not sure how to describe it, but it's in blue, and that's pretty much it. So this aircraft is admittedly kind of blank. It was the second one that I made. I don't think it is the best one that I made. I had this idea kind of later on, and I figured I might as well just go for it because it didn't seem too difficult. And surprise, surprise, it was actually very difficult. Just the tail for the old livery, excruciatingly difficult. But here it is. So this one was submitted, but I generally do not think that this one is going to be chosen. I don't think this one has a chance, but it at least is a cool concept, I think, having an airBaltic retro livery. But that's pretty much it for this first aircraft here. So we will now move on to our second one. And so here's the second one, and as you guys can probably already see, this one's a whole lot more detailed and I think a lot cooler. So this one is mostly inspired by airBaltic's various crew bases, which you can see on the side there. But I guess we'll kind of take it as we go along, and this one is more symmetrical. So we have the big airBaltic billboard titles, which is currently what they fly in their current livery. And then beneath that we have 50th A220 in green, which may be a little bit difficult to see, but it goes, with the color scheme. But below airBaltic it says 50th A220. So this is celebrating their 50th A220 aircraft, which is why they're having this livery design competition. Behind that we have silhouettes for the various hubs for airBaltic. We have Riga, obviously the main hub on the starboard side, the port side, along with Tallinn in Estonia. Those are the biggest two for airBaltic. And on the starboard side you have Vilnius and Tampere, which are in Lithuania and Finland respectively, and are smaller hubs, but technically airBaltic still counts them as hubs, so they are put on there. And they're just little silhouettes of the city / landmarks in the city, which would be recognizable for locals there. It is quite similar, I do admit, to my submission for Airbus's first A350F. Because that I used little images. Well, of course I didn't use images taken from Google, but they were of the 7 wonders of the world, and it's kind of like a similar concept to this one, although this one I think it looks worse than that one. But considering I did not have a whole lot of time to make this, the competition only lasted like 2 weeks, so really not enough time. Maybe it was 3 weeks, but not enough time for me to make a plan. 4 months, which was the Airbus one, I could really go heavy into detail on that, and I appreciated that, but Airbus didn't give me a whole lot of time. Then finally we'll move on to the tail, because this is still pretty unique too. I mean, airBaltic doesn't have this on their actual livery. And those are little daisies on the tail, which is the national flower of Latvia, because, you know, that's their hub. It makes sense, and I wanted to do something a little fun with the tail, so we made it made little daisies on there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this livery, and then Baltic on the tail is the same as the regular airBaltic stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this livery. If I could have used the real estate of the engines and the winglet, which would have been very nice, I probably could have, you know, added some more detailing on there. But I kind of wanted to stick with, you know, what airBaltic might want to use, I guess. Not really changing their base livery too much, keeping it pretty, you know, accurate to what it actually is. But we'll, I mean, that's it. I mean, the submission is closed, so I can't really edit it anymore from this. So sorry if you were interested in making a livery for this. The deadline has already passed. But well, it'll be interesting to see which livery airBaltic chooses for their 50th A220, and hopefully it's made by a model company, because that'd be really cool. Yeah, that'll do it for today's video. So hopefully, like, guys like these designs. I know I said I was going to do a video looking at my sketchbook, but that hasn't come out yet, and I don't know if I will do that, because I don't know. I don't really like my drawings from back in the day. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. So thank you all for checking this one out. I'll see you tomorrow. As always, good night. Auf Wiedersehen.